Hello everyone and welcome to Bevan's Bricks. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I hope you all had an awesome week. Today what we're actually going to be working on, and I'm still trying to get things a little bit better squared away, is I almost wonder if that's too much light in here. Anyway, what we're trying to work on today is I'm trying to work on the Flatiron Building. I know I'd posted several posts about this, and well, today I wanted to get started. Mind you, I've already been started on it, but I'm trying to work on doing some posts and other things. One of the things I've been doing though, man, is I have been cleaning the daylights out of my barn. It has just been such a disaster in here, and let me tell you, it's looking freaking amazing. Paul Bott would be impressed, let me put it that way. Art Claxton, Redcoat Kyle, and Michael Fuji. How you doing, guys? So glad to see you. Anyway, I'm going to pop this back off. This is, there we go. This is one of my supports. I'm going to be building supports in between several of the floors, but I'm still trying to get a feel for my sizing. And I'm still trying to, and Master Chief, speaking of the devil, you see, I just said it once and he popped right in. How you doing, bro? One of the things I got to do is I got to make a few more columns, and then I'm trying to figure out, because I have the corners figured out how I'm going to do them on the upper floors, but I never tried to do anything with the first floor. So I'm still kind of trying to work through some ideas, and hopefully we will possibly get there through this stream. But the first thing, like I said, I do need to do is I got to make a few columns, and I also have to pull this apart, this front piece, and I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. I started with this original method that I had, but I wasn't as impressed with it because I've seen some actual photos of the Flatiron Building, so I've been reworking the facade just to kind of give you an idea. This is how the first floor is now going to be getting done on the Flatiron Building. So now I've got to change this particular building, or half of the building, over. I've got to replace the windows and alter them so that way both sides will have that same appearance. And let me set this back down. But and like I said, believe it or not, Paul Bott would be impressed because it's very clean in here. And hey, how you doing, Clem Boston fan 112? Blinky Bricks, Redcoat Kyle says he has an event tomorrow, so he's polishing all his brass. For those that don't know, Redcoat Kyle is does reenactments, so that's what that's about. Michael Fuji, how are you, my friend? I know I already said it, and now he's talking to Master Chief. And Art Claxton, thank you so much. Art Claxton just donated $5. That is freaking awesome of you, bro. And he said, hit that like button. If not, Michael and Master Chief buys Daryl a lifetime supply of Lego. I have a feeling that they would disagree with that particular statement. Be funny anyway, though. I don't think that they could, I don't think anybody could buy me a lifetime supply. I struggle to get my own lifetime supply. It's nuts. And thank you, Blinky Bricks. He says, what an amazing Lego haul. And I hope you noticed, for anybody that's not familiar or doesn't know, I just want to quickly point this out. I have been posting a lot of videos, and if you've also noticed, I have music going again. I've been posting a lot of videos, or reels, I guess I should say, on Instagram. And I'm finding that, you know what, it seems like I'm having a lot more luck with Instagram growing than I am with YouTube, believe it or not. So I've been doing a lot of work over there lately with posting just little small clips, little videos and such, and they seem to be a really big hit. And one of the reasons that I bring that up is if you don't know, make sure you check out my Instagram and see if you like it. Trying to get more people to go over there, because here in the last week, I've just been blown away, man. I mean, beyond blown away. And Brett Tucker, how the heck are you, buddy? And happy Friday, my friend. I have gained on Instagram in the last 3 weeks, I've gained like 4,000 subscribers. And I'm just blown away by that. And it makes me wonder, is YouTube dying? And I want to just make sure that I did acknowledge you, Brett. because Brett did donate $10, dude. That was so kind to you, and thank you so much. But one of the reasons I'm bringing up the Instagram is because Blinky Bricks, I don't know if he's seen it or not. He obviously has, or maybe he hasn't. But I'm bringing it up because on there, I've been doing these little video clips, usually 15 seconds at most. And one of the most recent video clips I did, I was talking about custom lighting. And with me talking about custom lighting, one of the things I brought up is that I do a lot of my own custom lighting, but I also use Blinky Bricks and also Brick Loot. So I just wanted to make sure if you didn't see that you get a chance to check that out, Blinky Bricks, and anybody that's watching, because I think you'll like the content. It's if you don't like, let me say this real quick, if you don't like short form content, then you might not like it, and yes, I am definitely spreading the love around. It's a good way to put it, Mike. But like I said, I'm noticing that I'm having more success over there and on TikTok, because I've been doing some really cool things on TikTok. And I think it's funny because I've done a lot of experimenting here lately because I'm trying to figure out what I've done wrong and why my YouTube channel isn't growing the way that I feel it should. And so I was kind of thinking or starting to lean the direction of maybe it is I need to start doing short videos or something like that on YouTube. And what I've found so far is that it's really not helping me at all. But it's funny because the exact same YouTube shorts that I'm posting, and I get maybe 1,000 views for on YouTube, I can go over to Instagram or TikTok for that matter. TikTok is where I've actually had a video go viral. And one of the videos that I posted on TikTok, again, I posted on YouTube Shorts. And on TikTok, it's got over 2 million views. Here on YouTube, I think I was lucky if I got 1,200 views. So I'm starting to lean towards the direction that YouTube just doesn't recommend me and doesn't want me to continue. It's where I'm kind of getting the feeling anymore, but I'm not giving it up. I still like doing YouTube, but just letting people know that there is more content of me out there, but it is on other platforms if you want to check it out. And yes, I do Facebook. Although I do want to point out, because a lot of people, I'll log on to Facebook and I'll notice that a lot of people have sent me messages and things, and I always feel bad. And the reason I say that is quite simply this. When it comes to YouTube anyway, or Facebook anyway, I don't do a lot on Facebook. I do very little. A lot of people think I'm on Facebook, and when I post a video on YouTube, from YouTube, I share it to Facebook. I probably get on Facebook maybe once a month, if that. I just really don't use Facebook that much, but I do share my videos there to my personal page. But like I said, I don't get on there much. And like I said, I always feel bad. So if you're one of the many people that have tried to contact me on Facebook and you didn't get a response, I apologize in advance because, again, I just really don't get on there. And Angry Dragon, how are you? Art Claxton, he said in his Facebook. Clem Boston 112 says, what is the building for size? This building, once it's done, first of all, it's on 3 48 by 48 base plates. And if the music's too loud, please guys, feel free to tell me and I will turn it down a little bit. But I did finally pay to get my subscription back for no other reason, just to give me something to listen to, because it's a little easier for me to live stream and have music going, because I like to have noise. I hate silence. So if the music's too loud, let me know and I can turn it down. But the building size is on 3 48 by 48 base plates. It's 1, 2, 3 this way. So it is a total of, 48 by 100 and, I'm horrible in my head with math, 124. 6 and 6 is 12, and 12, 6 and 6 is 128, excuse me. But anyway, the building size as far as height, I'm guessing it's going to be finished height roughly 5, 6 feet. That's purely a guess, mind you. And what else did I need? I needed more of the black windows. I say that because the actual, and thank you, Clem Bustine, he says the music's perfect. Good, that's what I wanted to hear. I say that because this is going to be 22, well, technically the original building was 20 stories, 20 floors. And then the second owner that purchased the building, because this building was originally constructed in 1902, if I remember correctly, and then somebody purchased it again in 1912 or something like that, and I might be wrong on my dates, but the second person that purchased the building, they added 2 floors to the top of the building. And you really can't tell that the floors were added, because what it is there's a railing on the top of the building, and then the floors were added inside of that railing. I am going to try and include those, but I always constantly call it 20 stories, even though it's technically, as far as the way that I'm doing the windows and all that, it will be 22 stories tall. But my calculation is basically each floor at 20 stories tall. I'm guessing roughly 4 inches of floor, so 20 inches or 20 floors. Mind you, some of the floors are bigger than others. 20 floors at 4 inches is 40 inches. So it might even be shorter than I think. I mean, now that I'm actually thinking about it. Or was it 5 inches of floor? I'm trying to think for a minute. Hold on. You know what? Let me get my tape measure. I can't remember. And what I was, 80 inches is what I should have said. I can tell you exactly. No, I'm wrong. It's 4 inches. So 4 inches of floor should be 80 inches tall, is what the finished height of the building should be. So 80 inches in height is what I'm looking at doing. Mayo, how are you? Oh, I thought he was here. But again, back to the multiple platforms and stuff, one thing that was taking me so long to try and go live tonight is I was trying to set it up so I could stream to both here on YouTube and on Instagram, but I can't figure it out. So I know you can do it, but I'm going to have to do it another day. But what I'm going to try and start doing, though, is streaming on both platforms. So if anybody's curious, that's one of the things I'm trying to do. And in case I didn't say it, hello Kevin, and hello Bruno Tallard from France. Hello to France. I am always amazed at how many people from different countries sign in to the live streams. It always amazes me. Michael says, no Miracle Whip. Kip Hoffman, how are you, my friend? Yes, my funny farm friend. I hope you're doing well also. Clem says he is making a drink, and I hope it's a good one, my friend. Adult beverages can always be fun. Or are you just making some tea or something? And I know Paul Bot signed in, but I have not seen him say another word. And I'm a bit surprised, because usually Paul Bot has a bunch of things to say. I do know that he's driving again, though, so that might be what it is. He might just be listening and not actually interacting. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, how the heck are you? I'm glad to see that you actually made a stream, my friend. And that is Lego Homes. Lego Homes does some really cool freaking builds too. For anybody that's never seen it, check out his Instagram, because he has some really cool builds. He does, what is the size of your table? Is it 4 feet by 4 feet Lego Homes? But he does some really cool little city builds. He'll build a city and then he'll display it for a very short period of time, let me say. Rip it apart and start over. Yep, see, I figured Master Chief was here. And I'm almost thinking, just because I know he would be, you know what, I'm gonna make him wait. I'm gonna make you wait, Paul Bot, or Master Chief. What I mean by I'm going to make you wait is I plan on trying to do a video tomorrow to show the Lego barn. And I think even you would be impressed for a change. Even though it's kind of messy over here, everything is actually organized in baggies. So it looks bad, but it's not bad. I know what's what and why it's where. It's because of this massive building. I just have bins and bins of parts that I have sorted so I can grab stuff kind of quickly. Oh, it's 50 by 80? I thought it was smaller than that, Lego Homes. But again, if you guys have never, if you want to see a really cool looking display, he is always doing new displays. So check it out. No, not very many sets at all in Angelville. And how are you doing, Daddy Daughter Bricks? Am I going to be replacing my Sanctum mock with the official set? If I do replace my Sanctum mock, what I would do is, because I'm debating buying that, I do have to say I like the new Sanctum Sanctorum set. If I do though, I would, because I'll be perfectly honest, and I'll grab mine just to show you guys. I was always kind of bugged with my Sanctum Sanctorum, and the reason I say that, at the time when I built it, I didn't have enough pieces because I wanted to add one more floor. I wanted to have the first floor, 2 floors above it, and then the top. And I like it, don't get me wrong, I've always liked my Sanctum Sanctorum, but I never liked that I wanted to add one more of these floors in the center. If I buy the new one, and to me the new one actually is a great deal like this already. If I bought a new one, what I would do is I would probably enlarge it just a little bit, because to me it looks a little, and dude, thank you so much. Lego Homes just donated $9.99, and he says thank you for the compliments, and you are more, you deserve it, bro. And I've told you that before. You do some really cool builds, because I mean, well, I want to use this as an example. When I originally started to do my Lego Highway, Lego Homes had already built one into one of his little displays. I shouldn't say it's little, 5 foot by 8 feet. But he did an amazing job. That freaking highway was awesome. But again, no need for a donation for the compliment, my friend. You do some amazing builds, buddy. You really do. I am always impressed with what you're doing. But back to the comment in regards to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I do like the set a lot. The set that Lego came out with. I think it's a bit pricey, but I still think it's a good set. And I personally wouldn't mind buying it, but from what I've seen, I still think I would end up modifying it a little bit if I used it. And some people say that it's perfect, it's exact. Some people say it's not. And what it is, it depends on which version you are looking at of the Sanctum Sanctorum, because like even with mine, depending on what film or what reference photos you're looking at, some of them it is a corner building, some of them it's a standalone building. So that's one thing you have to take into consideration when you are working on that particular building, if anybody else is planning to anyway, is you have to, bear with me, I'm trying to think while I'm pulling stuff apart. Master Chief, thank you so much, buddy. Bet I'm waiting because it's not clean. No, it's clean. You know what? Smart Alec. Like I said, I got piles of stuff over here, and that's only because I have everything kind of laid out for, and thank you for the $2 donation, Paul, but it's only because I have everything laid out for this building, because everything over there's tan, if you didn't notice. But here, I'm going to show you right now, Smart Alec. And I can't get the camera to go down from over here, but yes, it is clean. It's the cleanest it has been in here in a very, and I mean very, long time. But like I said, I'm going to do a video about it tomorrow is my plan, because I'm also going to be doing a reel on it as well. And let's get this back in here. Yes, like I said, I've been doing major cleaning. I was actually able to vacuum today. That's how clean it is in here right now. So I'm impressed with myself anyway. And yes, I totally agree, Brett. As he said, it would have, if I use, my seat's trying to lower on me. If I was to use that set, I definitely would Bevonize it. I wouldn't leave it the way it is. It would have to be modified some way, somehow, you know, some way. No, it was not my boss. It was not the wife. No, I'm just, I'm tired of always tripping on things, and it was kind of like, well, me and you had a conversation. I think it was just last week or something. But it's like I told you, because I am not killing myself to make videos anymore. Because that was always part of the problem with me keeping the Lego barn clean, is I was always basically in a mad rush to get the barn, or to get videos made, so I didn't worry about the mess, because I was always focusing on the next video. And because of that, the barn was always a complete disaster. And now that I am focusing more on my hobby and less about trying to constantly produce videos, I feel a lot better, number one. But number two is I'm able to get things back in order, start getting things the way I would like them, and I'm going to start trying to keep them that way. And that is part of why I don't have the mad amount of videos like I normally did. It's quite simply because I've been working on cleaning, vacuuming, reorganizing, sorting, and all that kind of stuff around the Lego barn. And thank you so much, Michael Fuji. Michael just donated $2. It's very kind to you. I really appreciate it, buddy. And R. Claxton, you bring up a very valid point, because usually every time I clean the dust, I don't know what it is, but and I did it today, is when I vacuumed and dusted was today. So if I'm going to get sick, you're absolutely correct. It would be because of what I did today. But he is absolutely right. Rob Claxton knows that I have really bad allergies, and it seems like every time I clean, I immediately end up with a bad head cold. I'm hoping that's not what's going to happen, but not going to be surprised if it does. Rockiest1790, hi, how are you? I am doing great, thank you so much. Just a reminder, it's a lug bulk season. Oh, I have to get in on my... I have to get on the server then, don't I? I was surprised Jason didn't say something to me, but I will be checking that out. Thank you so much for the heads up, Rocky 1790. I'm sorry. But like I said, nobody had said anything to me yet, so I will have to get on there and look. So thank you, and thank you for that. Steve Weiser says, just got home after taking the X4 birthday dinner. Glad I could catch another live stream, and so glad that you could make it as well. Michael, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Brick Sargent, thank you so much for the $2 donation. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you. And yes, I'm ripping a lot of windows out so I can replace them. And Clem Bestein, Clem Bostein says, finally, Brick Sargent shows up. Angry Dragon says he got in on his lug bulk. It's definitely a good way to go, I have to say. I was going to try and get in because we had a special I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that, so I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm gonna stop there because I know there's a lot of things we're not supposed to talk about. So, John Evans, holy crap! John Evans just made a freaking thunderstorm. Thank you, buddy. It's very, dude. That's awesome of you. And hello to you, my friend, as well. And he says, hope everyone's having a great night. And John just donated $49.99, dude. That's unbelievable. Thank you. Amazing. That's all I can say. That's beyond kind to you, buddy. And I'm still waiting for you to open up your own Bricklink, because you were supposed to open up a Bricklink store. And again, thank you, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Oh, now Brick Sargent's making it rain now. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Sergeant Bricks. Sergeant Bricks, thank you so much. Sergeant Bricks just donated $2. And thank you so much, Sergeant Bricks. That's super awesome of you. I don't know that I remember your name before, so welcome to the stream, and just wow, thank you. I appreciate that. I saw Sergeant Bricks, and I'm automatically thinking it's Brick Sargent, so that just kind of messed me up. But thank you, very, very, very kind of you. And it is definitely raining, Michael. And thank you, John. That's exactly what you just did, because you know what's funny? Because I had one person that seemed upset that I posted that video, and I wasn't trying to upset anybody with it. What actually bummed me out about it is I really, really wanted to share that with everybody so everybody could get on that deal that lives near a Myers. But like I said in that video I made, I really honestly think that was a mistake on Myers' behalf. And the reason that I say that is, and you know what, and I am so sorry, Sergeant Bricks. He says, I come here so often. It's what actually caught me is because your name was highlighted, and I think a lot of times you say something and I think you're Brick Sergeant. So I do apologize that, and now I have a new name in my memory bank that I will keep an eye out for. So again, thank you so much, Sergeant Bricks. But like I said, for a minute I thought it was Brick Sergeant that donated again, because that's usually who I talk to all the time. But again, thank you so much. That was very awesome of you. Very, very, very kind. But Art Claxton, yes, big spender in the house is John. Back to what I was going to say, though, about the Meyer thing, is my intention was I was trying to hurry up and make the video so that way I could share it with everybody. But after I had found out about it and then bought everything, and then I'll be the first to admit, because you could only do it, it was kind of weird how they had it set up. It was only if you had to use the Imperks app, and then you had to do the purchase online, but it had to be pick up at store. So it could only be items that were in stock at that particular Myers. And the coupon was a one-time use coupon. So what I did is, once I found out about that, I made 2 different orders, one through my account and one through my wife's account, through 2 different stores. And I had picked them up. I brought them home, and I got I was starting to try and get through everything and get it all set up. And I got to make sure that's not the boss. I was trying to get everything set up so I could make the video. And I had my son had made another account because I was going to try and go to another Myers to do it again. James Jackson, how the heck are you? Good evening. Sergeant Bricks says, so it worked. Goal achieved. And he said, honestly, I was trying to confuse you. Not going to lie. You did confuse me. So thank you so much with that, Sergeant Bricks, because you, like you said, mission accomplished. And Kyle Knapp, hello, hello. And hello to Italy, my friend. Thank you so much for signing in, Roberto. But what I was saying about that is I had my son create an account, and then I went to do it again, because what I was going to do is, when I went to do the purchases on Meyer this time, I was going to record how you do it, so when I posted the video, I could show you how to do it. And sadly, as I was doing it, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, sorry, just messaging the boss. I realized that, holy crap, they took it away. And not only did they take the discount away, they took the discount away, so now it was only a 30% coupon that you could use once, and then they even put a cap on how many sets you could buy. Because the first day when I found out about it, I tried to do it, and it was kind of unlimited, because I put 10, I shouldn't say it was unlimited, it was whatever they had in the store, so generally whatever I bought, or whatever I got is all they had. But and then I was like, well, son of a gun. So I suddenly slowed down on trying to post that video, because I was like, well, there's no sense in being in a hurry to post the video because nobody can get the deal now. And I was like, well, that really, really freaking sucks. And Mr. Silly, thank you so much. It sure does feel like rain. Mr. Silly just donated $2 as well. So thank you so much. I appreciate that, Mr. Silly. It is definitely raining tonight. And Kyle Knapp, if I didn't say hello already, hello to you, my friend. CC, good evening to you. It says, I love your Mills plate requirements, a tape measure. Yeah, I'm a little goofy with that. I tend to go a little bit big with a lot of different things. And then No Place Like Home says New York needs a Myers. I agree with you, buddy. But like I said, it sucks because I couldn't get out quick enough to let people know, and then nobody. I know other people got the deal, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't able to share it with you guys like I always like to do when I find good stuff. But to a lot of people, because I know some people seemed a little upset that they weren't able to get in on the deal, and some people didn't even know what Myers was. And it was like I told people, Myers, because people are like, what the heck is a Myers? And Myers is, it's a northern Walmart. Before there was Walmart, and I want to say Myers is only like in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan area. So it's just that small area that you can shop at a Myers store. And there was a lot of people saying, you know, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you get into it? Or how do you, you know, how are you able to buy from the store? And I'm like, oh, well, if you don't live in, you know, this little area, you can't, because you have to be able to pick it up. So some people were upset about that. But something I do want to bring up, because I did bring this up in my video as well, and it's simply this. I really personally, and I am not, and that's going to have to come up and change, I think. Yes, that's got to change. I personally feel, and I've told a few people this, I don't think that's going to be the last of, I don't know that his name was Fred Meyer, but it is Myers. It was Meyer Thrifty Acres is what the store is actually called. But the reason jumping subjects, and I know I do that a lot, and I apologize, I can be hard to follow. But the reason that I was saying that was simply this, and I feel like I messed up. I did mess up. So that's got to come back off. I say that I feel like that's not going to be the end of big sales like that, and it's because of this. As I've told several people, I really think because of how much Lego has jumped up their prices as of recently, I don't think that's going to be the end of sales. And I say that because I think they've priced themselves almost out of the market. Because Lego sets are so expensive now that a lot of people, they've priced people out of buying Lego. I mean, literally, they've priced people out of the market. And I feel because of that, Lego's going to start to feel a little bit of a pinch. And I wouldn't be surprised if even before, did I change them all? Yes, I got them all changed. I wouldn't be surprised if even before Christmas that you see some really, really good deals on Lego. Quite simply because there's been a lot of earnings reports coming out for those that aren't aware. And I have to tell you that Lego's earnings reports, they're still good, don't get me wrong, but they're not getting the sales that they were. And I personally feel a lot of that is quite simply because of the fact that they jacked their prices up so much that they've priced so many people out of the market that I think they're going to end up finding that they're going to have to start discounting their stuff just to sell it. Again, I thought I did say Indiana or Claxton. See, I might have missed it though, but see, I thought because it's Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, and Michigan it's kind of the area for Meyer that I'm aware of anyway. But I really do think that Meyer is shooting themselves in the foot. And again, I could be wrong, and I really think you're going to start seeing a lot more deals, but I could be wrong. But I think just hold out. If you don't see them soon, and when I say soon, before Christmas, I still think after Christmas, you're going to find a lot of sets on very, very, very deep discounts just because they're overpriced. And hello, Raymond, to our Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. All the way from Amarillo, Texas. I used to love that song, but I was always a big fan of, if anybody didn't recognize what I was just kind of singing, it's an old George Strait song. But I was always a big fan of George Strait music, so. And I'm sorry if I was hurting your ears by singing that. Because I know I'm not spectacular. But yes, Lego Homes, way too much stuff. You are absolutely correct. They're coming out with, to me, it's like they've been coming out with record numbers of sets, and they're coming out with record price tags. And I still think that they are, and I need my 1x2 bricks also. I still think they are shooting themselves in the foot with the prices that they're trying to set and charge and sell stuff on. So much to the point that I think you're going to start seeing more and more sets, clearance, discounted, in stores offering them at extremely cheap prices. Just my thoughts. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's just where I personally am at with the things that I'm seeing with Lego. Angry Dragon just said what I was talking about. He's waiting for those after Christmas deals. Every year they're see, that's what was funny, because every year a lot of the backlog that I have, because I have an insane backlog. I mean, beyond insane backlog of Lego. As I've shown people before, I made a reel on Instagram today for it. But that backlog is, honestly, most of it was from after Christmas sales. And how I used to, because people used to always ask me, how did I acquire all this Lego that I have behind me? And a lot of it was just quite simply me buying and reselling. And what I mean by that is every year I used to buy at the end of Christmas sales, sit on them. The following year I could actually sell them right before Christmas for a good markup. I would take that, buy parts, and then buy more sets to sit and, you know, wash, repeat over every year. And then part of the reason that I did all that was because it didn't cost me as much money to increase my collection in size. But that is also why I have so much of a backlog. It was because that's what I used to do constantly, just to increase my collection. And I really don't do it as much anymore, and it's because the last few years Lego's gotten so popular that you really can't find the deals anymore. But I think this year, after Christmas, I think that's going to change. I think you're really going to see a lot more deals coming, because they've just gotten, in my personal opinion, they've gotten a little bit too greedy, and they've kind of marked themselves out of the market. And hello, Lisa Miller, how are you? And Lisa says hello from Johnny Miller. Johnny Miller's 3. Well, hello, Johnny Miller, and so glad you guys are watching. Thank you, thank you. Kyle Knapp says, I have seen that with Lego minifigures, the price has gone up on them, but I still buy them. Minifigures, because yes, the price was originally, correct me if I'm wrong, it was right around $380 or $390 or something like that, and then they popped them up to $599. Yeah, it was $399 and they moved them up to $599. They raised the minifigure prices, I believe, for the series minifigs. I believe they actually did those price increases roughly 2 years ago. And I am just trying to make sure I didn't need to put another piece on that. Okay, now that one has to go back in. But I mean, because Legos, over the course of the last 2 years, for those that haven't or have, maybe some people haven't noticed, but I would say most people have noticed. But over the last 2 to 3 years, Lego has, actually it used to be 3 years, Lego's increased prices on stuff as much as 5 times. This year alone, they've made a price increase twice. And an example I'll give you of that, the little, I shouldn't say battle pack, well, I guess it is the battle packs, where you can get 4 minifigures with a little display. I was always big. Every time they would come out with a Star Wars battle pack, and I'm looking for my 1x2 plates. Every time they would come out with a Star Wars battle pack, though, I always tried to get at least 10 because I wanted to get a bunch of those minifigures. And every single year, or well, let me rephrase that. For years, they were always $9.99 for a battle pack. But for the last couple years, every single year, they pop up the prices of battle packs. Battle packs now are what, $21.99 if I'm not mistaken? And again, they've gotten to the point where people can't buy, because part of the coolness with the battle packs was it was a way to troop build, army build, you know, for different types, for Star Wars specifically, but not just Star Wars. Typically any theme they came out with. I'll give you an example. The movie with Johnny Depp, The Lone Ranger. They came out with little battle pack sets, and I think I got 6 of those, where it has 4 of the soldiers dressed in blue. So anytime they'd come out with a theme or a series of sets, I'll give you another good example. When they came out with Toy Story, they came out with the little green Jeep, and it had 4 green army men in it. And again, that was a way of, you know, as a troop builder pack is all they basically were. And they used to do that with every theme, and they were always $9.99. But like I said, again, over the last few years, it's just, oh, they've gotten crazy with the prices on them, and you can't really troop build anymore. It's very bad recession, absolute, buddy. I am right there with you, Kyle. I have all of the Muppets as well. I have, you know what, the last two, I did buy the Muppets ones, but the last two sets of minifigs, the series minifigs, I'm kind of losing interest. And it's, again, it's because the price is getting too high. I still like them, but it's just like, I'll hold off and wait. You know what I mean? Hey, Dave West, how are you? Nathan, howdy, howdy. Dave Dunnigan, hello, hello. Mega Dave, hello, hello. The Mega Dave was saying, am I going to bring this Flatiron with the Daily Bugle, or will it just be the building? Or brand, I'm sorry, not brand. Yes, I fully intend on, and here's my intention with this building for those that do not know. And another point I just want to make, this is not the John Wick building. Because it seems like every day somebody tells me, oh yeah, that's the John Wick building. And no, the building from John Wick, because it was just today somebody else said it to me on my Instagram account. The building from John Wick is in downtown Manhattan, and I think it's only 5 stories tall. This building is in New York City, and it is 22 stories tall. So I just want to make that clear real quick, because I've had a lot of people say that to me. And I get it, it's because it is a Flatiron building. But I think the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that there is a ton of Flatiron buildings. There's a Flatiron building here in Michigan. It's not that pretty, and it's used as a fire station. But there are Flatiron buildings all over the place. There's a Flatiron building, there's a beautiful Flatiron building in Canada, and I believe it is in Ontario, if I'm not mistaken. But typically when you look up a Flatiron building, this is the building that it is. But this was the building that was used in the original Tobey Maguire movie, and that's one of the reasons that I have a big fascination with it. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, and that is why I'm building this, because what I'm intending on doing, because I'm not a big fan, don't get me wrong, it's a cool set. The Lego Daily Bugle set, it is a cool looking set. But I'm just personally not a fan of it, and I say that because it's supposed to be a skyscraper building, and it's not a skyscraper in my opinion. I guess if you were to stay with the official Lego modular buildings for a city, it would kind of look like a skyscraper, but to me, a skyscraper should not have a fire escape on the side of it, and that's always been like my personal pet peeve kind of with that particular building, is I hate that fire escape, and I hate that they have this great big sign on this little narrow building. But my intention is I want to, and I'm going to try my hardest, I want to put the Daily Bugle down the front of it at the narrow end, just like in the Tobey Maguire movies. And I want to make it look like neon. I want to use, there's this little blue tubing, and it is almost the exact size that you need to be equivalent to the 3mm tubing that Lego sells when they generally use it in sets and whatnot. So what I'm wanting, but they sell this red tubing that lights up like neon. And thank you, Mega Dave. He was saying he admires my reasoning in regards to this building. But what I was going to say is I want to make it look like it's neon. So I'm going to change the sign up. But I want it to be right straight down the front, just like in the movie. I want it to look just like it. So there's 2 columns I got to do. Actually, no, I got those. I got to do 2 4-post columns now. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about with neon, just to show you what I mean. Because I did it on I keep forgetting to. I want to make a video showcasing my Carvana building. I know I have not done it, but it's a very cool building. And the only reason, honestly, I have not showcased this building yet is simply because I want to get it filled with cars, and I also wanted to put some lights in it. But for those that are not aware, I did build a Carvana, just to show you. This is my Carvana building. And what I did with the Carvana building is, because the buildings by me, or the Carvana building by me, which is what this is modeled after, it has blue neon lights along the top. And let me show you something. This has blue neon lights around the top. So, excuse me, what I'm wanting to do is the same material that I used, and let me just turn the lights off so you can see it a little better. What I'm wanting to use, though, is the same tubing that I used to make this appear, and I'm hoping you can see that it's lit up. to make this appear like it has blue neon on the top of the building, but they sell it in red, purple, green, and a few other colors. I want to do that same look, but I want to do it with the wording Daily Bugle. So that way when I have that building on display, what it'll physically do is it'll look like it has a big neon Daily Bugle sign out front. And I think that will just, to me, that is what will physically finish that building. I think that building will look amazing. This building with the neon red Daily Bugle on the front of it, and then having lights randomly lit up through the building, because I am going to be splitting this into floor sections. So just so people get an idea, because I have to do this for two reasons. So this is going to be the one half. This goes on this side of the building. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This goes on that side of the building. And then this is the chunk that's going to be supporting the other wall. Because remember, I'm keeping this in a triangle, just like the actual building. And Mega Dave, thank you so much. Mega Dave just donated $2. You are awesome. I appreciate that. But this will be the other piece. And what happens is these will click in together to keep everything rigid. And I'm going to do this dividing in between the floors because I want to make the building modular, because I intend on taking this to Brick Fair, Virginia if I can. But I want to make it modular so I can break it down into pieces and put it into separate boxes so I don't have to try and carry this monstrosity of a building around. And then I'm going to try and do even a sloped road next to this. But yes, you can. That's going to be my goal. I want to make it to where that particular build, you can insert a coin and you will get a car. And again, thank you so much, awesome Mega Dave, for the $2 donation. But my goal with doing that is because by me doing this and making it to where I have this piece inside of there, I'm going to be able to put some interior walls. I'm not going to get super crazy. And hey, Bruce Kuhn, how the heck are you? And thank you so much, Dave West. He says that's looking amazing. And John Evans says your Carvana is a cool building along with all your other builds. And thank you, buddy. And you know, it's funny. Like I said, I really need, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Like I said, I've been waiting, and I haven't built cars is my problem. But that is the big point or big problem with that Carvana building. I've been dying to finish the lighting on the inside of it, and I've been dying to fill it with cars, and I haven't done it. But maybe I'll do a video on it tomorrow. I'm trying to catch up on comments, guys. If I miss something, I am so sorry. But I do appreciate all the comments, and I'm trying to catch up real quickly. But my goal with me doing the separation is, number one, strength. Number two, because this wall, as I build it, I got to tile everything down in here. So this wall is going to be free floating. So this is going to keep that outer wall strengthened. And then by me being able to put divider walls in a few different spots in between the floors, I'll just be able to light up a few small sections of the building on the inside to give it more of a realistic look. But not only that, by me having the interior walls, it's going to give me more rigidity, which is one of my biggest things with any of my buildings. I want to make sure it won't fall apart on me, because the way that I have several things kind of just mocked up, if I don't put this interior paneling that I'm kind of doing, it's not going to keep the building rigid, and the building's going to collapse, and this outer wall will be flimsy. So that is my biggest goal for doing this. As far as the car comment, I saw somebody talking about cars. Because I'm going this big with the building, that was one of the things that I did in my recent Lego haul, is I bought a bunch of the different 6-wide car sets, the Speed Champion sets. And it's because with this size of a building, I honestly think an 8-wide card would look good. Because what I'm thinking, and I don't know if a lot of people have seen that particular video or not, but in one of my videos I described about how I'm seeing the future of my display in here. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because I love building these insanely huge buildings. I'm thinking I'm going to fill the entire top of my table with a bunch of buildings like this. And by doing that, I feel that an 8-wide car would look a lot better with this. Also, by doing that, I was going to remove my 9-volt train. And the reason that I was going to do that is I wanted to take all the smaller modular buildings, my smaller mocks and things like that, and I was going to make displays underneath the table So then that way I could put the train and stuff down there. Because to me, if you go with an 8-wide car, Speed Champions, thank you, Michael. If you go with an 8-wide car, to me, you have to have a 10-wide train. I love how a 10-wide train looks. You cannot get more detailed with a 10-wide train. But if you're going to go with an 8-wide car, to me, you have to have a 10-wide train, and then you have to have wider lanes. You have to have a different mills plate. You got to do a different standard. There's a lot of different stuff that goes into that. The way that my city currently is, before I change it, and I'm still on the fence on what I'm doing with the city, but the way that I currently have it set up, I prefer 6-wide cars, and it's because I have the official Lego modular buildings in my city, and then I have like my privet drive and things like that. And to me, an 8-wide car next to those buildings, it just looks like garbage. But an 8-wide car next to these, oh, now we're cooking. And hey, Rhonda Fritz, how are you? This is going to be my Flatiron Building, my Daily Bugle, my version of the Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle from the, I don't know why I can't think anymore, Tobey Maguire movies. But you were right, Michael. Typically, I do a 6-wide car. I got to start making the 4-wide walls. So where are my parts for that? I need these. And did I miss? I'm trying to catch up on a few more comments. Mike says they had a blast in Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, and it was. I wish I could have stayed there longer myself, Mike. Raymond Diaz, hello. Mike Fuji says, I believe. Okay, I already read that, and I can't wait to go back again next year as well, David. I know. One of the things I can tell you, for those that haven't seen it, if you haven't watched my videos, make sure you check it out. I have that. I call it the Ivy Towers. That building I fully intend on taking to Brick Fair this next year. I'm hoping, because I rebuilt the Neapolitan, that I can take that with me to Brick Fair next year. I need another box of parts. And then if possible, and again, it depends on if I can get this thing finished, or Spider Dork movies. Sure. Yeah, the Spider Dork. Spider Dork. That, or no, Spider Pig, that's what I'm thinking of. Spider Pig. That was from The Simpsons, though. Dave White says, if you're going with 8-wide cars, will have to scale up those fire trucks I built for you. No, actually, because those trucks, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought those were 8-wide as well. So actually, they are perfect. Like I said, though, I'm still on the fence on the 8-wide car thing. I like the idea of it when I didn't grab my 2x4 plates. I like the idea of it with these size buildings because, I mean, that, like I said, to me, that is the only way it would look right, in my opinion. But I don't know. We'll see. And a lot of things also depend on what I'm going to be able to take to Brick Fair and if I'll be able to do different things up here. And it's like anything. It's I'm hoping, I'm wanting, but we'll see what happens type of thing. I guess is the best way to put it. G. Jacobson, currently the way that I have my city, I try to keep the cars as narrow as possible. Semi-trucks, even my trains, and I know it probably looks weird. My trains, I'm trying to think, are those 6-wide? I always kept everything kind of small, and again, it's because I do have the official Lego modular buildings in my city. I believe my trains are currently 8-wide as well, or 6-wide as well. And that was one thing that was kind of goofy, because with a 6-wide car, you should have an 8-wide train. My personal opinion, I just never did it. And you can go down a rabbit hole. I'm going to tell you this right now. You can go down a rabbit hole really quickly if you're trying to get everything to match up in the aspect of scale. I mean, by rights, my personal opinion, the only right way to do a car is to go with an 8-wide car. And I say that because the only way you can put too many figures in a car and it look good anyway. Let me say that, because you can put too many figures in a 6-wide car. But the only way you can put too many figures in a car and it look really good is if you go 4-wide. Or, I'm sorry, 8-wide. And again, by doing that, you got to go with larger buildings, larger roads, and the whole 9 yards. But it's just like I said, it takes you down a rabbit hole, and it just depends on how crazy you want to get with spending on stuff, because we all know. Okay, so my cars are, so Brick Sergeant knows. So he's seen all my cars, so I know he knows. So yes, my trains are only 6 wide. And Brick Sergeant, correct me if I'm wrong, was just the one that you made 8 wide? Because I know you made it longer. I thought you made it wider too, though. Fox Leader says the Spider-Man, anime Spider-Man was an Overwatched ripoff. And yes, Michael, you are absolutely right. Brick Sergeant is very good at trains. That is his niche, is trains. So you are 100% correct. And I need my 1x4 tiles now. You know what I need to do? I need to set a table right here instead of having all my parts on the floor, so I can just reach in a bag instead of having to keep having to run back and forth, instead of having to constantly run over there. I just have it all here. I might set that up tomorrow if I can. But still trying to get the shop clean. That was like my big thing, is trying to get the shop clean. G. Jacobson was saying, it's been a while since I've been on. We are in the process of moving back to Illinois. Well, congratulations, I hope. I'm hoping you wanted to move back to Illinois anyway. I think that's a nice area. You'd be very close to me anyway. And I wish you lots of luck on your move, because I know moving is always a pain in the butt. Oh, yours is only 6 wide. I thought you had widened it too, Brick Sergeant. It looks freaking awesome either way, don't get me wrong, but I could have swore when I saw the pictures of it that you had widened it. Oh, very cool. Michael says his grandkids live in Illinois. Maybe that means that he'll be paying you a visit, G. Jacobson. I'm not even going to try and fetch that. I'm just going to leave it on the floor and I'll get it later. And this has got to be, so I'm trying to measure up my columns. So I'm trying to get, because I got to, oh crap, that's right. I got to notch these columns though, so I'm doing this wrong. That's the problem with mocking stuff, is man oh man, everything has to be complicated. The front is 4, but the backs are 3. So I got to pop this back apart. And Master Chief says he is moving to Illinois next year. And that is freaking awesome, buddy. And you are absolutely right, Michael. It is only paper unless you spend it. You are 100% correct, my friend. Let's see, we've got to change. How do I want to do this? I think I want to use, I know what I'm going to do. Let me grab those. I'm not sure that I bought. Well, you know what? Instead of looking, let's double check. Because I might have bought those. I bought so many parts for this building, and I know a lot of people are asking me already, what do I think this building is going to cost? And I'm not sure if I have everything, but just to give people a rough idea, what I've spent so far is close to $2,000 on parts just for this building. And that's no interior stuff either, guys. So currently I'm looking at $2,000 to $3,000 for the size of this particular building, since that is a very, very commonly asked question. And I guess I'm not going to do it that way because I did not buy those parts. So we are going to go back to the original method, because I know I bought 1x. They are right there. Perfect. So we can stick with that. I can do the 2x3s. Okay, I'm back on track. I just need this piece. And this is going to be this side, so I got to go this way. And then I can use a 2x3. And then I can use a 1x1. So we'll just do it that way. It'll still work. It'll still look good. Sergeant Brick says, holy schmolies. Oh, we're talking about how much yes. Most of my buildings are not cheap. And that's why, because I did I think it was an Instagram reel or something not that long ago. And what I'd asked on that is I never understood, and I still don't understand it, why it is that set builders are more popular than mock makers. And the majority of people commented on my video and said, well, it's because we can't afford to build your mocks and we don't know where to start and things like that. And it's like, okay, well, I get that, but me personally, just because I can't afford something doesn't mean I still don't like looking at it. So it still kind of puzzled me, but I thought, well, everybody told me what they thought, and I guess that is the general consensus, because there was a lot of people saying that. But my average building is usually in the $2,000 to $3,000 range for most of my large builds anyway. They are not cheap at all, and that's why I always tell people I love doing it. I don't necessarily recommend that other people do it. They take a lot of time and a lot of money to get all the pieces together. In this, as far as placing this in my city, there's no place like homes is asking. If this goes into my city, it's because I'm totally remodifying my city. That's what I was saying earlier, is kind of my new plan of attack is I am looking at just taking everything off the top of the table as far as official modular buildings and such, and just going with big buildings. So that way, I think it would look more natural, more at home doing that. I could widen the roads and the whole 9 yards, but I'm still on the fence on it. But currently, as the city is sitting, as the city is built, honestly, this has no place at all that it can fit in my city. So I could just be building something that's going to be sitting in a corner collecting dust after I'm done, to be quite honest. Hey, Beetle Jazz, how you doing? And I need to go one more higher, two more higher. So I need another one of these. Mike says, that's small potatoes for Daryl. Let's go big or go home. Fox Leader says, quick, buy a 3D printer and make your own bricks. It's probably cheaper. I'm sure it probably is, Fox Leader, although I've got some stuff that was 3D printed, because I had somebody tell me that they would recommend using 3D printed materials, and I personally, going with the big guys, number one, I'll even go that route. It wasn't Blue Bricks. What was the name of the Trix Bricks? I bought their train track. Not impressed. I think I did a video on that as well, if I'm not mistaken. The clutching power on it is absolutely garbage. And again, I'm not impressed. I wouldn't want to use it. And then I tried, and I don't remember the name of the company or it was on eBay. Somebody was selling monorail track. And it was 3D printed, and I bought that, and it was just the opposite of Trix Bricks. Instead of it being super sloppy and loose, it was so tight I couldn't put official Lego pieces into it. So to me, again, another garbage thing. But I will be the first to admit I can be a rather picky individual, because if it's not up to my particular standards, I don't like it. If I think I can do better or build it better, and I'm going to tell you it's garbage. But so far, I have not seen, so that's going to go there, that one goes there, that one goes there, and I got to build an opposite one here. So far, I have yet to see a product that I think is worth spending money on that is 3D printed. Master Chief says, sounds like expansion time. Caleb Price says, a Lego city that just has a bunch of sets put together isn't. Caleb, I totally agree with you, and that was why I made that video that I had made not that long ago. And again, it was because I just don't understand why, because people ask me this all the time. It's not just my own head. My thought, just kind of put you where I was thinking anyway, is I thought, well, maybe I figure I have to be doing something wrong, because people are always asking me, why don't you have more subscribers? And I thought, you know, I'm just, because I'm not great at making videos. I will be the first to admit that. I am not a photographer. I am an electrician by trade, and that is my main trade. So I'm good at electrical work, but everything else I'm not that great at. So I always thought, well, apparently my video skills just suck, is what I always thought. Or maybe my format of videos sucks or whatever. And that was why I made that one video recently asking people what do they think and why do they think that channels like mine aren't popular. And because my opinion is exactly what you said. I am not a fan of, I don't personally understand why people like watching what I call set builders. And that's people that have nothing but a city of Lego sets. It's like, okay, anybody can have that. Anybody can do that, and that's great. That's cool, because not everybody has the spending power. Not everybody has the creativity to try and build things from scratch. And I understand that, but I don't understand why it's popular that people want to watch people do that. And it's just always personally miffed me. But you know, everybody has a different scale, a different way of thinking, and you know, I just figure there's more people that rather see sets than see custom buildings. G. Jacobson says Lego's hard to beat. Lego Homes was saying it's time to add more tables to that room, and I'm not talking about under table scenes. Kenneth Swan was saying, Master Chief, I'm watching Bevan's bricks to make a train go around the Lego room, or the Lego barn, and then do his house and back. I don't know that I'll ever try that one. That would be freaking cool, though, because there is a channel that I've seen, and I don't remember the guy's name, but there is a channel that I've seen where the guy, he must have, I mean, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet. Mind you, it's not the 9-volt track like I'm using. It is the standard track, but it's going all over his yard. And I don't know if he's ripping it apart as the train's going, just so he can make it go forever and ever, is what it seems like in these videos. But it's really cool to watch his train. You know, it goes through his house, comes out the front door, goes around some of his landscaping, goes around to the backyard, goes over his swimming pool with a brick-built bridge, and just some really cool videos. And I think that would be really fun to try and do. But oh my God, if I wanted to use 9-volt track, that would kill me. I would have to do like he does and use the official track. My problem is all my official track is used up in my buildings. Because in the Ivy Towers, I just used a lot of curved track in that building. So most of my track is actually in use. And yes, Caleb, you are absolutely right. There's a lot. It's not just me. There are a lot of different people trying to gain a little ground in the YouTube community, and it's like they just can't. But I'm personally of the opinion, and I started to touch on this earlier, and I think I kind of forgot, and I do like I always do. I kind of do a roundabout and skip around. But what I was going to say is earlier I started to discuss this. I'm kind of starting to feel and wonder if YouTube's on the verge of failing. And here's why I say that. I don't know if anybody else, I don't know if I'm weird because I do this, but I like to see earnings reports and future reports and stuff like that on companies, one of them being Google, because Google is YouTube. And the earning reports came out today for Google, and I have got news. They are not good. Earnings are way down. They are not doing well at all. But companies that are growing leaps and bounds, guess what? TikTok, Instagram, and even Twitter is making some decent headway when you look at the growth of their income and such, where Google is actually reporting losses. Don't quote this number, but if I remember correctly from the article that I read, it was like a 24% loss in revenue on Google. And to me, that is possibly a sign that maybe people are getting tired of the long content and they're wanting to go towards more shorter content like Instagrams, TikToks, and things like that. Just a guess. I mean, it's just a thought. I'm not saying that I can read the future, but it's kind of what it's kind of what I'm feeling and what I'm picking up. Mike says mocks are where it's at, and that's my opinion. I am 100% in agreement with you, Michael. But like I said, it doesn't seem to be the general Consensus, anyway. Fox Leader says, what's his name, busted a hole through 2 halls. Talking about Brick, help me here, Brick, because I watch him. He actually does some really freaking awesome builds. Brick something. But yes, if it's the same person I'm thinking of, you're right. His videos, though, I don't see him as struggling. I think he's doing really well. At least he seems to be doing really well. Brick built? Brick builder? Brick crafts. Thank you, Caleb. Yes, brick crafts. That dude, man, he does some freaking awesome builds. I actually look at some of his stuff, and they are absolutely fantastic. But the way that I understand his page, and he's actually getting insane views. So he has it figured out. Whatever he's doing, that man is doing it right, because he's a lot like Tiago, I think is his name. Mind you, Tiago used to work for the Lego Corporation, but he's got it figured out too, because every video, either one of those guys, Tiago or Brick Crafts, and mind you, they're fairly new to YouTube, but both of those guys are just freaking springboarding up. And their average video gets 100,000 views. It is crazy. And yes, Brick Crafts, like I said, he does some really cool stuff, and he explains it really well. I admire him. Somebody, a few other people that people may not know. Nathan says he must be old, and I'm with you, Nathan. But he says he must be old because he likes watching 2-hour videos. I'm with you. That's kind of how I always like things too, when it's interesting, like Brickcraft, for example. I like to watch longer videos. Where, I don't mind the short stuff if it's like comedy type things, but I don't want to see just short videos. But the problem you have nowadays, and it's like with any of the social medias that are out there, if you don't cater to the younger crowd, and I know I don't, that to me is my biggest downfall for my channel anyway, is I do not cater to the younger crowd. We have discussions. We have a lot of crazy discussions on my channel. I'll be the first to admit I know my discussions are a little over the top, but sometimes anyway. But I think if you're not catering towards the younger generations, teens, early 20 people, you're not going to grow as much. And I know I cater more towards, let's say, 30 plus, 40s, 50s, 60s would be the category that I focus on, and that's just because that's my age and that's where I'm thinking. But that's just kind of my thoughts. And Mike, yes, TikTok is owned by China. TikTok, the problem with TikTok, you can get really crazy popular on TikTok rather quickly. It's pretty cool. But the problem with TikTok is the earnings on it suck. One of my members, you guys I'm sure know him, Easy Craftsman, because that's all he focuses on is TikTok. And he had his TikTok, God, last time I looked, I thought he was, I might be wrong, it's been a while, but I thought the last time I looked, he was around 600,000 subscribers or something. He's got a huge, and huge, following of people. But from talking to him, the earnings on those channels are just nobody could make that a living, unlike a lot of people try to do on YouTube. At least everything that me and him have discussed, anyway. Yes, absolutely, Mike. My channel's for the big kids. I'm not sure, Bruce. Because he's asking if Brick Crafts is Bob Brickman. Alls I know is that, because Brick Crafts is a younger, I don't want to call him a kid because he looks like he's in his early 20s, but he's an amazing builder. But I don't know if that's his name or not. It's very possible Bob Brickman, though. And then somebody else was saying he had a German channel long before he ever set up the English channel. And then I missed a bunch of comments, guys, so I am so sorry. CC was saying Brickcraft's landscapes are on a whole different level, and yes, they are. I've never really had a lot of landscaping parts. I'm slowly starting to try and amass landscape type parts. So I can do things like, because he's got forests and rivers and you name it. I just finally, Beetle Jess says he's in the right place age-wise. That's why I said, me personally, I cater more towards the older group. Because I don't tolerate nonsense. I'm happy to have younger people here, and I always try to keep my streams, videos, everything G-rate, or I should say PG rated, because I like to consider my channel family friendly. But I'm not like certain people where I'm not jumping around acting like a kid. Well, maybe I am. But typically I'm talking about like the 80s or the 70s, and because that's when I grew up, was the 70s. I was born in 73 and I grew up in the 80s as well. But yes, Stein is another awesome builder. You know, here's two channels that are people that you guys may not have even heard of, but to me, and because people always ask, you know, what's the type of channels I follow, and it's like I don't watch set builders. I'm just going to leave it at that. I like to watch creativity. I like to see what people can come up with, the kind of ingenuity they can create, and things of that nature. With that being said, two people that I think a lot of people have never heard of. Some people have, and they just don't realize maybe that he has a YouTube channel. But Woodles. Woodles is somebody, and you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about when I say Woodles, when I tell you he has the Wasabi District. That guy builds some amazing freaking buildings. He really does. And then somebody else that I really personally like a lot and I think is very creative when it comes to buildings, and mind you, this is for city people. These are mock people. They do not build sets. Gaber Basso, and I hope I'm saying his name correctly. I'm not sure if he has a YouTube, though. He has an Instagram. And again, oh my God, man, this guy's builds are freaking nuts. He does some really cool stuff. But he really doesn't have any followers. And another person that I can tell you is, I might be wrong on this one. I feel like I'm not, though. MK Bricks, he's in Australia. That guy's creativity is just next freaking level. But again, he doesn't have a huge following. And it just blows me away that people that build and do these amazing things, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know you guys love my builds and love a lot of the stuff that I do. To me, I've always felt I'm just okay. But like MK Bricks and a few of these other guys, it's just like, holy crap, wow, when I'm looking at their stuff. And the reason I like to see people like that is because it gives me ideas on how I can improve or do something or build something or, you know, things of that nature. But none of these people are that popular. And it just, like I said, it blows me away. Bruce Kuhn says, I've watched Bob Brickman's, okay, so that is his name for the German channel then. He says he's watched it for years. I think the English channel is Brickcrafts. Okay, that makes sense then. But I've never heard of Bob Brickman before. But that's very, very cool. And like I said, he's very, very talented, I have to say. Kenneth Swan was saying, Bevan's Bricks, the younger guys just have to catch up with us. When they get bored with just sets, they will come over here. Well, see, that's, let's see, Cam Toswell says Bob Brickman, his Brickcrafts German. Okay, so everybody is confirming that is what it was. What I was going to say, though, Kenneth, is part of the problem is, because you are right, that maybe kids will eventually catch up to this type of channel or whatever. But here's the thing, because I'm sure we can all agree on this, and this is why I say my channel is more PG. We all have that dark phase in our life. We all played with Lego when we were kids. Mind you, even when I was a kid, I was not a very good mock builder, but I liked to buy a set, I'd build it, and then it would get ripped apart and it would become whatever, spaceship, flying taco, I don't know. But I was never one of those kids, because to me, kids nowadays, most of them, they buy a set, they put it together, they put it on the shelf, they might play with it 2 or 3 times, they're done with it, and then it gets donated to Goodwill. Most kids nowadays, and I think it's because of the lack of, like a lot of us on here, we all grew up with, you're bored, go outside, when the street lights come on, you can come back home. And we had to go out and create our own things. We played with sticks and trash can lids, and, you know, I mean, boxes were spaceships. I mean, you think of it something that was just reluctant garbage, whatever. We would try and be. We were creative. Our generation was a lot more creative, and and Michael says I'm growing exponentially. I am still growing on my channel. I totally agree with you, my friend. Um, and Beetle just said a really good point. He says he thinks the modular sets are to help teach you on how to build a good MOC, and that is how I feel about Lego. Because anytime people ask me, how do you learn how to build MOCs? How do you learn how to build in general? How do you learn how to do things? And that is always my key factor, is to tell people the more sets you build, the more ideas you're going to learn, the more techniques you're going to learn, the more ideas you're going to have, the more way of doing things you're going to start storing in your memory bank. But back to what I was saying, though, I think the reason like channels like mine are not as popular as I would think that they should be is because, quite simply, kids want to build a set. They want to see what they can go to the store, buy, come home, put together, put on a shelf, put on a dresser, whatever they're going to do. And if they can't buy it or just go to the store and ask mom and dad for it for Christmas, they're not interested. And that's where the problem with YouTube lies, is if you can't appeal to the younger generation, you're generally you're not gonna boom like a lot of the set building people. And I'm gonna stop whining about that. G. Jacobson says, yeah, they donate it to Goodwill, and there you go. And it's not just you, G. Jacobson, because Michael's the same way. Because I know he turned me on to, it's the Goodwill online bidding thing, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of really cool stuff on there. And see, like Michael just said, it's, as a kid, you can't buy that kind of Lego to be able to do MOC building. And that, to me, I think that's why I think that's where the big failure is for YouTube, for people that are creative. But I mean, there are some people that I think just figured it out, like everybody was saying, Bob Brickman, and they're able to grow really easily, and it's very cool that they can. I mean, I'm envious of them, or jealous of them, I guess would be a good way to put it. But you know, like I said, it is what it is. It's, you know, gotta take it and leave it. And there's no place like home. Yes, 25 months. Holy crap, dude! You have been here for quite a long time. He says you learn how to build MOCs by watching this channel, and thank you. There's no place like homes. I don't know what you've learned from me, because again, like I've said earlier in the stream, buddy, you do some amazing stuff yourself. So I do appreciate the support, man, because you are awesome. Joe Bennett was saying, no pun intended, but your building is looking sharp. Looks like sharp cheddar. No, I'm being funny, but thank you so much, John Bennett. Mike says yeah, you do a lot of buying and sorting. Nathan was saying, do you watch Lego Masters? No, honestly, I do not. And people are usually surprised at that. And this is why I say that. And I put that bag away, and I needed it. I watched the first season of Lego Masters. And me personally, I was disappointed with it. And here's why I say that. I felt like the show was entirely too focused on drama and worrying about who was going to cry or what was going to break, or instead of, look at this technique, look what they're doing, look how amazing this build is. And it personally kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I wasn't impressed at all. It's not, actually I can't even say that. As I say, it's not that the people on it are bad. I mean, the people that are participating on it aren't bad, but at the same time they kind of are, because it's like, again, going off the first season, and I saw a little bit of the second season, it's like with the first episode, you can already tell who the finalists are. It's because it's like they go around, they pick, you know, you got 10 teams, and out of that 10 teams, it's like they say, hey, these 7 guys are good, or these 7 guys are, they kind of understand Lego. Let's put them on the show because they know they're not going to win. These 3 teams, these guys know what they're doing, so these are going to be the people that we follow through the hope, you know, of getting the show. Sergeant Brick says, cry and hope to win was the routine. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said I'm not. And thank you, Papa's Bricks. He says loves the shirt, my Captain America shirt. But that's just, yes, it's reality TV. And I'm just personally, and hey, Papa's Bricks, how are you? I'm just personally not, I'm not a fan, not impressed. I don't care for it. Um, and I don't know. Yes, it's very scripted. That's my opinion on it as well. Kenneth Swan is that it's beyond scripted in my point or my opinion. And I'm trying to remember. I got to do a one set, so I need. Bear with me. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. You know what? For the first row, yeah, the first row I will do it this way. Because now I got to make this wall. And holy crap, Bruce, you just bit the took. I'm Bruce. Thank you, buddy. Bruce Kuhn just donated $50. That is so freaking awesome of you, Bruce. That wow is all I can say. And he says enjoying the live stream. Really, really, really appreciate that, Bruce. That's unbelievably kind of you. You caught me off guard there. But again, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. That was freaking awesome of you. Rob was saying Lego Masters Season 3 is different. Is it better then? It's not all about the drama anymore? And There's No Place Like Home says, and there's the team with, yeah, that's, well, because it was like Season 1. You could tell, again, my opinion, you could tell from the very first episode that Tyler and Amy were going to win. Oh, they're going to have a baby. Oh, it's because every freaking episode, they like focused right in on them and talked about, oh, she's pregnant. Oh, we think we're this. Oh, we think that. And oh, they're trying to buy a house. And it's like, okay, well, we get it. They're going to be the winners. Why don't you talk to some of the other people as well, though? And it's just, you can tell it's very scripted. It just without saying, you can say it's very, very scripted. Art Claxton says another big spender. We've had quite a few of them tonight. Bruce, John Evans. I thought somebody else did. Brett. He was either a 10 or a 20. So we've had. Oops, that's in the wrong pile. So we've had a couple big spenders tonight. Absolutely. But you're saying it's different this time around, Rob? Because like I said, I just after the first season, I was just. I lost all interest. I couldn't do it. I didn't like it, couldn't do it, wasn't gonna do it. Now the Australian version, I actually like the Australian version. I personally really like. Okay, so yeah, okay, not season 3, the American. Okay, yes, I totally agree with you because I have watched the Australian version, and I personally love the Australian version of Lego Masters. I think it's really good anyway, the way they do it, but they're not so focused on drama. You know what I mean? In my, my 2 cents, but because I want to say I watched the first and second season of the Australian version. And Nathan was saying season 3 was different because each episode you could tell who was going home because they would focus that episode on that team. Okay, that sucks then. Hey, Legit Potato, how you doing? And Kyle Knapp was saying he's seen Lego Masters. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. Papa's Brick says, so do you think that some of them build bad to lose? It's not that I think they build bad to lose. I think, and this is just my opinion on it, I think Lego goes out, they look to see who they can get. They find a couple people that, it's like I was saying a little earlier, I don't think you were here. There's 10 teams, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they go out, they interview people, they talk to people, they question them, try and find out a little bit about them, try and find out who has a good story because it's all about promotion and who has a good storyline and who could sell better to the public, blah, 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 blah. But I think they worry about the story and all that. And then they try and find out and kind of get an idea of who knows how to build and who doesn't. And I think what they do is out of the 10 teams, they'll pick 3 that are good, that are actually going to be in the competition. And then I think they pick another 7 teams that it's, you know what, they have an idea about Lego, they're not very good, but we're going to throw them into the show just because we want people to get voted off, and we can get voted off and it's not a big deal because they're never going to make it anyway. That's my 2 cents on how they do it. That doesn't mean that's how they do it, but that's just my feeling on it. There's people that have only played with Lego, we'll say, for example, they've only been in Lego for a year. And I can tell you from looking at, like from season 1, I'll use as an example. Season 1, I immediately checked out a bunch of people, and you automatically knew when you started looking these people up who was going to be good just by looking at their previous social media accounts. Because it's like, okay, once the show started, let's go look at their social media. Oh, they've only been posting Lego stuff for 6 months or 8 months, or it's like, okay, they're brand new to Lego and they're just posting sets and blah, 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 blah. So they're trying to fulfill whatever agreement with Lego. And then you have people, not like Tyler and Amy, because don't get me wrong, he posted a lot of stuff. There was a team on the very first season. I want to say they were brothers, but I think it was just 2 young guys either way. But you went and looked them up. You looked at their Instagram and their YouTube, and it was like, holy cow, these guys had been posting for 6-7 years about Lego and showing different things and showing different techniques and showing mechanical stuff, and you know what I mean? And it was just like, wow, okay, these are, and these are going to be guys that are going to be here for a while. And they were. They made it to the final 3 anyway. And that's why I said it's kind of another way you can tell who's already going to be winning is look how long they've been posting about Lego. Is the prize money tax-free? That is a big no. You do have to pay on the prize money. And that was something that to me, the prize money isn't that big. This is why I say that, because for 8 to 12 weeks of filming, so you can't go to work, you can't go to your job, you can't earn your income. You're going to a TV show to record, and the possibility of winning, let's be frank, you're winning $25,000 because you're going as a team. So you're going to have, on the team you got person A, person B, and they got to split the winnings. Unless, like Tyler and Amy, they were married, so they got all the winnings. But like Christian and Aaron, yes, thank you, Bruce. That's exactly who I was talking about. Christian and Aaron, if you looked them up, like them, you knew they were going to be in the top 3. Maybe they would even win because you looked them up and holy crap, they had been posting Lego for years and years and years, and it was really good stuff. Where, like I said, some people, you looked them up and it's like, oh, they've been posting for 6 months, so they don't have a clue. But that's exactly who I was talking about, Bruce, was Christian and Aaron. You are absolutely correct. Fox Leader says, Bevins, Mark, and Steve explain the process to get on the show. It's not easy. And mind you, because I get interviewed for it too, and I don't know. I don't think it's that hard to get on it, but maybe I'm wrong. Because I started to go through it, and then I told them no because my job told me that I can't do it. All game shows are not tax-free. They tax 50%. And that sounds about right. And that's what DeBorn was saying. And just to kind of throw that out there for people that are not aware, because most TV shows, game shows, I don't care what you do, most of them are in California. And California has a game show tax. So, yeah, $25,000, you're going to get, what, 12.5 of it? So, but either way, to me, the long and the short of it is it's not even worth trying to go on that show, in my opinion. Dave Dunnigan says that's crazy because prizes are not taxable in Ireland. Even the lotto isn't taxable. Really? Oh my God, dude, if you win the lottery here, the government gets a really big cut. definitely, the government gets a lot of your money here when you win stuff like that. Beetle Jazz says, they're like me then. They have one video up with no sound. Yes, when you see stuff like that, you know they're not going to make it very far. Anyway, though, because that was the wife that was messaging me a little bit ago, guys, I really should probably go. Not going to promise it, but I'm kind of going to try around noon tomorrow. We'll say noon, 1 o'clock. I'm going to try and go a live stream again. And I do that so that way, even though I was surprised how many people from France and Europe and whatnot were on tonight. But I try to do that during the day on Saturday, so I'm going to try and do that again tomorrow, as long as I don't run into any snags. But I do want to, I got to end this though, because my wife's home from work and I want to go talk to her. So on that note, first of all, thank you so much, guys. You guys are all awesome. I'm going to roll that beautiful bean footage. And with rolling that beautiful bean footage, I always like to give special credit where credit is due for all the people that have supported the stream. And I'm going to start by saying, for all the super chats, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. R. Claxton, Brett Tucker, No Place Like Homes, Master Chief, Mike Fuji, Brick Sargent, John Evans, Sergeant Bricks, Mr. Silly, Mega Dave, Bruce Kuhn, and holy crap, John Evans. he snaked one in at the end. Thank you, John. That was very freaking awesome of you. John Evans just donated another one at $9.99. But again, you guys are freaking awesome. Thank you so much. I will be trying. Like I said, I will be trying to go live again tomorrow, noonish, 1 o'clock. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. You are awesome. Without the support of you amazing people, I would not be able to do all the crazy builds and just do all the stuff that I do. You guys are awesome. But on that note, I do have to end, John. And I want to say thank you for coming to Bevan's Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below. And hopefully we'll see you next time on Bevan's Bricks or on the next live stream, hopefully tomorrow at noon. Take care, everybody, and I hope you have a very blessed day.